We're live, everybody. Welcome to the latest session of Polyhedral Cruise, The Accords, Distrust in the District, where we play Dresden Files Accelerated, an awesome version of Fate that is quickly turning into one of my favorites. We've gathered here. This is the last session that we're going to have before the holiday. I'm hoping that we're going to have a nice sort of conclusion, but we'll see how that rolls. So to recap what happened last session, there was a Dunkin' Donuts trip, as there is in every session, because we love Dunkin' Donuts so much. I wish they were a sponsor. That would be fantastic. My favorite donut is a bagel, just to remind you.
Yeah,
So,
Randy.
Yep,
It's a bread donut.
You mean a bagel, not a bagel?
Bagel.
A
Bagel, bagel, bagel.
bagel. Everything bagels are my favorite. So, all right. So anyway, so last time, everybody was kind of trying to find out what we had started with, Evie and Ravi in the house, Ravi was sent to go and find a book. Yep. Ravi was sent to go and bring the book back. He didn't. He came back and said like, "Whoa, I lost it." I did lose surprisingly, you didn't lose it. You know where it is. But surprisingly,
You gave it to your father-in-law to be.
It's not my father-in-law to be.
Well, I mean, to be or not to be, that is the question. But so you didn't bring it back, and you lied to Lloyd, the big, thick-necked head of security for the Middleton estate.
I did lie to him.
And he bought it. Evie, who is pretending to be, was it Samantha? Is that it? Yes, pretending to be Samantha, was stuck in the house a little bit, managed to eavesdrop where Mimi Carrera Middleton, the wife to the politician, was talking with Lloyd in the kitchen. Basically about like, that they want the book back, see if you can't get the kid to also take care of some of our other problems, because they realize that Ravi is some sort of like supernatural fighter for the cause of good. And so she was basically like, we've got like this big, problem that he'll want to take care of. And it turns out he does, because it's a denarian. Meanwhile, Michel is upstairs. Michel also overhears this, but he also overhears a critical piece of information, which is that the Middletons are in bed with the Earl King. Mimi is off to a meeting to try and find out what's going on with the... trying to find out what is going on, or trying to strike a deal with the Earl King. Michel manages to climb onto the vehicle, despite the fact that it has a lot of obvious cold iron like strips to prevent such things, because Michel is just, he might be new in town, but that's pretty awesome. So he managed to ride underneath the SUV, which is a little bit up off the ground, until getting to an estate where the meeting was going to take place. Whenever security searches the vehicle, it turns out it's actually the Earl King security, and Olwyn, our favorite older military goblin, actually covered for Michel, saying that he was part of the security retinue, and basically told him like, don't do it again. I don't know what the hell you think you're doing. So that was
Michel hears that a lot.
Yeah, right. So then basically everybody kind of gathers together, except for Hucks, which we'll get to shortly. Everybody gathers together in the Middleton's estate with Lloyd, where Lloyd basically says like, hey, listen, we want to try and like take care of this denarian. You guys want to take care of him? Why can't we work together? We've got a copy of the Picatrix that you can use as bait to lure the denarian in. You guys are like, oh, that's a great idea. We're not going to do that at all, because we've got a much better idea, which is that you guys are going to go to Dunkin' Donuts. That's when the Dunkin' Donuts trip happened, and you guys didn't have a better idea. Although Michel decided that like, I can find them, and disappeared, leaving Robbie and Evie basically alone in the ethics section, your headquarters, at the library. Because if you remember, behind the secret door in the ethics section of the Continental Congress, or the Congressional Library, because no one goes there, is your secret headquarters. And that's when Evie got a particularly disturbing video message that was subtitled, basically saying that one of the people who was part of her The Truth organization was digging into Evie's latest interest, which is, has anyone gone missing from the Middleton party, and got themselves in a heap load of trouble. And apparently that heap load of trouble involves the White Court. And they're demanding that the leader of the Truth come to a certain location, which was told to be Ubera, which is a super fancy spa place, but it is a place tied to like the White Court, and they're ladies of the night in the DC area. So so that's where that was the recap.
It was specifically the Wraith family, right?
The Wraith family, yes. Did I miss anything like for the recap? I think that's good. I think that catches John up fairly well too. Just to mention some individual things that we have going on that are unresolved. Michel has been asked to collect a vial of Hucks's blood by Olwen.
Yep.
And because he wants to know Hucks's family lineage. This is now whether or not Michel does it by asking, by hook or by crook. That's on Michel.
Wait,
But
did you
given
just call
that
Michel a hooker?
no, but given that he's more sneaky than straightforward, I can't imagine that this would go. I can imagine how this is going to go. Ravi is pointed towards the Denarians. That's pretty straightforward. He's the muscle. He's got a muscle mission. Evie has been paid or offered $10,000 to actually to return the Book of the Pictrix.
I got 5K of that up front, so.
Yes, they said that is, that's goodwill money. They're like, bring the book, we'll give you the other half. Don't bring the book. Well, they didn't say what happened if you don't bring the book, but you can imagine that they're not going to let you just keep the money. I'm just saying. So
yeah, who knows? They didn't say.
This is true.
No take backsies.
Yes. And as we all know, Hucks has the lip balm of glibness that was given to him by Olwen as a very nice gift, that when he applies it, he can speak with the authority of the Earl King. Not as though he was the Earl King, like commanding troops or anything, but just like at scale, to use like some of the rules information. And he is lording that over Michel, or has lorded that over Michel.
And will continue to do so.
Oh, I'm just going to think of the perfect line.
Where we actually left off was Ravi and Evie going to save Evie's friend, right?
You guys weren't sure because I had said like, hey, do we want to do the White Court thing? Do you want to do something or plan? And you guys are like, well, let's just call it here. So that's where we left it.
Yeah.
So not to say that you can't do that, but I'm just saying that we kind of left it there.
Mostly because we didn't want to start planning without going into what Michel was doing and how successful he was going to be on his expedition.
Yes. Now, real quick, before we jump into the game, and I should have done this first, I'm sorry, but I just want to talk about a couple of changes that have happened to some player characters between now and last session. So between the last session and this one, we talked about the idea of refining some of the aspects that you guys are using, because now that we've been playing for a while and got a better feel on the characters, we've got a better idea of what we're enjoying about them. So we'll move left to right on the screen. So we'll start with Hucks. Hucks, he was seeking, one of his aspects basically wanted to kind of like to be seeking salvation for the horrible things that he has done. And we refined it a little bit that says like seeking salvation for a life of crime. So this kind of helped define a little bit further what John is looking to get out of that for the character, and that was really good. Next up is Evie. Evie's was a very small one. Her trouble went from disgusted by her hunger to disgusted by her vampire hunger. We all understood it to be vampire hunger, but I actually wanted to add that in just so that like it was explicit, because we all knew me. I like being explicit. Next in the list is Michel. Michel, we did a couple of changes. So he had as a trouble aspect new in town, and another aspect was novice, and those were really kind of like two sides of the same coin. And so we refined that, and we actually turned that into fresh meat in the Earl King's service. Which basically kind of says where Michel stands in the Earl King's service, representing that he's new, he's fresh, he's a recruit. Basically, he's going to be the one who's like sent on, like he's going to get raised, like
Hazed.
what's that?
Hazing.
Hazed. That's the word I was looking for. And so like that kind of represented that. And then we added a new aspect, which I think is important for the group as a whole to know, but it is emerging confidence with my newfound friends. Basically, Michel is starting to like you guys. I don't know why. But
He has no other friends, that's why.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, really?
Well, everybody else in the Earl King's service is like, just like dedicated to the Earl
jerk.
King. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Like Hucks. I mean, wait, what?
I'm not in the Earl King service because I'm not a jerk.
No, you're a jerk even though you're not in the recruiting service.
Oh no, I'm totally cool. Ravi thinks I'm cool. Ravi let me
Oh.
sleep on his couch,
Yeah, but Ravi doesn't think he's getting married to his fiancée.
which Ravi should totally marry his fiance. They're a perfect fit.
Right, so Ravi doesn't always know everything. He
She's
doesn't
not really my fiance.
Which brings us to Ravi's, which his trouble aspect. So targeted by evil forces was a good aspect. I liked it, but we kind of took it away from the trouble aspect and we moved into the trouble aspect. We took away the non-traditional traditionalist or that one, and we rephrased it as complicated family because, to be honest, that's how we've been playing it, and it seems to fit really well. So those are some of the aspect changes that we made on some people's character sheets. We also did a couple of minor tweaks. Some people flipped around their approaches, and one person's flipped a stunt. All of this is perfectly acceptable, like in between session stuff. But the aspects I just wanted to talk through. So great. Let us move on to what happened to Hucks. So Hucks, you had broken into the Middleton estate with Michel. You guys were digging around for dirt. You guys managed to actually, you have an aspect. It's on the Trello board. Piles of information. It has a free invoke on it. It's still there. It's still ready to be used. You collected up this information, and then as you're kind of wandering around the Middleton estate, you actually get an emergency text from Sloan. Sloan, as you know, is basically the person who's in charge of the discarded. And you being an operative for the discarded, this is a call you have to answer. So basically it was like, you got to go. And I don't know if you would have told Michel that you left, or would you have just like slid out without telling him?
I probably would have told him that I'm going off to just handle some business. I'm a pretty smooth operator, so I probably would just say, "Hey, I need to go check out my apartment, and then I need to answer some phone calls I've been getting. So I'll be back in I don't know, an hour or two." Because remember, kids, the easiest lie to tell is one that's already sort of true.
I'm glad we're teaching kids how to lie.
I'm an educator.
That's okay. My 4-year-old today made a gingerbread house. There's a little pebble path that goes up to the door. And when we asked if that was a little pebble path, she said, no, that's a landslide and there are people under it.
Nice.
So yeah. So obviously my parenting privileges should be revoked. But what are you going to do? All right. So basically, Hucks, you are called to a location to meet with Sloan. It is kind of like an off the beaten path coffee shop, like non-Starbucks coffee shop. You walk in, you see that she's already there and she's seated. Sloan herself is a broad-shouldered woman with stark white hair pulled back into a ponytail. Her hair is unnaturally white. It's that like dyeing it white gray that's very popular right now, sort of thing. So she's like you're not sure of her age, but she's not like old enough to have gone all gray as her hair indicates. She dresses all black and honestly gives off the air of a refined criminal. She basically seems super smooth and calculated. She kind of nods at you and waits for you to get your coffee. And then when you join her at the table, she says, "So Hucks, it seems that you've been busy the last few days. How have you been?"
I've been pretty good, beat the pants off of a pantsless demon. That was a little weird.
Yeah. Heard about.
By the way,
thing going.
I'm assuming we're not like super crowded, and that there's people who would just be like next to us that could hear us easily, right?
Yeah, no. It's like the place is mostly empty. Like, it seems to be pretty good. So yeah, it's not a problem. So yeah, she's just, she's like, yeah. So it's been a while since you've checked in. A couple of days. Usually check in a little bit more often than that. I know you've been busy, but I want to let you know that like we keep an eye out for our own, as you know, that like, the fact that the discarded are all, we have abandonment issues. And so whenever somebody doesn't check in for a while, we check in on them. So Hucks, she produces out of a small little satchel, a manila file folder, and she kind of like lays it down on the table and slides it over to you. You open it up and you see that there's some photography of you hanging out with like Evie and Michel and Ravi at like various points. Like there's a picture of you guys arguing about like donuts versus donut holes at the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through. There's like just pictures of you guys like together. There are none at the library, but generally, like you guys being out and about, there are pictures of you guys together. And Sloan says, "What can you tell me about these three people that you're traveling with?"
Not much. I really don't know any of them yet. I know that one of them happens to be a former student who apparently can't decide whether or not he's going to marry his fiance, if you can believe it. She's like the perfect match. She completes him, but he just can't commit. Also, he might have the power of the gods at his command, and I don't think she does. So that's just another barrier to the relationship, if you can believe that. But anyways, I think the more important question here is, why won't he commit? I mean, come on. I mean, it sounds perfect. And I know they barely know each other, and like there's other things. And, by the way, one other thing. Why are you following me when I've been gone for 2 or 3 days?
Like I said, those of us in the discarded have abandonment issues. You know that. We're all children of the same father, and so the reason that we band together is so that we can bring him down. And I just want to make sure that we're all working to that end. I want to make sure that no one has decided to go rogue. You know a lot of things, Hucks. You know a lot of things, and I actually know a lot of things too. I think that you need to be careful of the people that you're running with. I want you to know that we've done a little bit of research into them, into your friends. And we found out some fun facts that you might want to be interested in. So one of your friends is actually a suspect in an unsolved murder. Another one of your friends is actually out for your blood. And the last one of these three has their family looking for them, and it isn't pleasant family.
Well, I know that Ravi's mom is a little overbearing, but I wouldn't say that she's unpleasant. She sounded perfectly concerned for her son. Also, the blood thing, I think I know who it was. Yeah, she's a little weird, but I'll keep that in mind because, my blood is my blood. But one of them was involved in a murder?
Yes. So tread carefully with your newfound companions. I want to make sure that you don't end up hurt. Now, so Ravi, I'm
Hucks.
What? I'm sorry. Damn it.
Whoever you are.
Whatever. So insert PC name. I need you to understand that. Sorry, no. Hucks. So the people that you're traveling with seem to be very interesting and seem to have unique like abilities of their own. So, do you think that you could onboard them, perhaps into the discarded? Get them to go through the ritual to become members of the discarded?
The Earl Masters lad, no, probably not. to be honest, I'm seeing where that goes just because I'm curious about what exactly the Earl Master has in store for me. He seems a little interested. I seem a little interested in baiting him on. So we're going to see what's going on. But I think, is going to be a true believer to the end. As for the Ravi, who I mentioned before, I'm learning what he is. I've never encountered his kind before. It seems similar, but honestly, I've just begun to scratch the surface. I know a lot about his family. I know a lot about like what he has stored in his apartment. I also know he's a very generous man, and that he genuinely is, at least as far as he believes and what I've seen, a force for light. So whether or not he would be one that would stand up against the Fae, possibly. As for her, I honestly don't know. She is interesting in the fact that I've never really met someone who can hack as well as she can. And I know a lot of black hat hackers out there, but there seems like there's a mystery to her, and I kind of want to figure that out.
Okay. So at this point, John, I'm going to offer you a compel on tired of being middle management. So Sloan kind of says so it seems that you've got three interesting individuals that you're running with. There could be a promotion if you manage to help onboard some more powerful assets into the discarded. Basically, she wants you to get someone to join the group, and you'll get a promotion. So the complication is that you agree to get one of them to join the discarded, and if you fail, then that's going to be a problem. So would you like the fate point, or would you like to buy that off?
Oh. How much time would I have to get, just out of character, how much time would I have to get one of them to join?
Well, so far, Michel has had 3 episodes when he's needed to get your blood. So so it's not like you've got to do it right after the holiday break when we come back. But it's definitely something that's going to be a pain point until you accomplish it or completely fail to accomplish it.
Okay, I'll accept.
Okay, fantastic. Let me just go ahead and give you a fate point, John. So you are now at 4 fate points.
Woo!
Yeah, everybody is just kicking it with fate points because Evie also carried over an additional fate point. So Evie and Hucks are sitting on 4.
Evie,
and
I cannot remember your character's name. I'm sorry. That's why that sounded so weird.
Michel and Ravi are at 3 each. All right. So, Hucks, you have this meeting. You have agreed to onboard them through the rituals of becoming a member of the discarded. Who knows what that involves, right? So
punch and pie.
Yep. So you are free to go back and meet up with everybody else. You head back to the library. Back to the Library of Congress. You go to the ethics section, and you call Evie, who still hasn't let you know how to get into the ethics section.
Evie, I'm in the ethics section, and I've pulled a bunch of books off the shelves, and I think they're getting a little mad at me.
I let him wait for 10 minutes, and then eventually I let him in.
I make a little fort out of books.
Where is this in a time period? Are we still there making the plan on how we're going to rescue Evie's friend? Or is this...
Michel has left. You guys have gotten the White Court threat. You guys have researched it, found out about Ubera and what the place is. Okay. And yes, you guys are currently planning. And then Hucks is
comes.
Hey, guys.
Just walk in. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Why is you disappear for half a day?
Yeah, I know, man.
I had things to do.
We don't all get to take breaks like that on the job.
What job? Oh, yeah, rescuing your friend. But, no,
You don't know about that.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry, back that up. No, it's just sort of I had things I had to do.
Well, some of us were getting information on how to kill a denarian.
Yep.
Well, don't keep it to yourself. How do we kill a denarian?
I feel like that's a good transition to go over to Michel and whatever he's doing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So Michel,
Yep.
they were talking about tracking the denarian, and you're like, I can do it. Can we talk me through what his process is going to be to try and track down the denarian?
Well, I think the first thing would be to try to find somebody local, because every locale has a few people who like know all the goings ons and whatnot, even if they don't seem like they should. I need to track down one of those people first to get some information about how to track down the denarian, because I don't really have a lot to go on right now besides giant blue crab monster, which I don't think is enough to, start searching for. So I think the first step would be to find someone who knows what's going on, because I'm new in town. I don't know anything.
Okay, sounds good. So, so let's see. That is a good question. I'm just trying to think if I should invent an NPC or have you attempt a roll, because it sounds like you're trying to like set up a creative advantage to then go and search, because you need to figure out how to search for the denarian.
Yeah. Well, I'm more going for narrative permission to go after the denarian, because right now, I could try. I can't even try to track because it went literally underground, and I don't know how to search denarian-made cave structures.
Yeah. So, well, this is going to be a very difficult roll. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a 7 difficulty to find the denarians, because they are well hidden and trying to keep to himself, or herself rather. So let's see. So you know what? I'm going to say that, like, honestly, like, you don't know a whole lot of people in town. I know we just got rid of new in town, but like you're going to go to the person who's going to be able to give you the resources, which is going to be Olwen.
No,
So
it's not.
no.
It is. It really is.
Actually, you know what?
I don't.
The
Tell me.
no. The doorbell rings on Books and Brahmas as you enter in the bookshop to talk to Dr. Vineet Gupta. And he's like, "Oh, hello, Michel."
Hello, Dr. Gupta. I was wondering if you could perhaps help me with a task that Ravi and I are needing to do.
Sure. He puts down the copy, the modern English version of the Picatrix that he's reading and comparing against the ancient text. How may I be of assistance?
We were interacting with a supernatural entity the other day at a party, and we need to find them, but I don't know the hangouts. I don't know the people here, and I figured with the bookshop, you would be the best person to know other people in the area who are also in the know.
So you're looking to track down. I'm sorry. Rephrase that again for me. My brain just skipped.
I am looking for that guy or that gal who knows what's going on, even though they shouldn't. Either if it's just someone who has their ears open all the time, or someone whose job is to collate information and, is kind of seen as a information broker kind of thing.
Oh, sure. So I actually I happen to know a rather nice college student here in the area named Reba who has a dog that is renowned for being able to find just about anything. And it's basically like it's a supernatural gift that the Actually, it's a supernatural gift that she has. She says it's the dogs, but she's a professional dog walker. And when she's walking dogs, if she's looking for something, the dogs can lead her to what she's looking for. So as a result, like we like, you know, if something's needed, if I'll be honest, I lost a pocket watch once, and I got Reba's help, and we were able to find the pocket watch. So much to my embarrassment, I had just dropped it outside the back door. But yeah, so I could get you in touch with Reba if you're interested.
Oh, very much so. Yes, she sounds like a very nice person. Dog
yeah.
people are usually very nice.
This is true. So yeah, I can put you in touch with her. He gets you her address. She agrees to meet you, at a coffee shop. And she is about a medium height, medium build. She is dark skinned African, with no hair, like completely shaved head.
Okay.
And she's just like, "How y'all doing? My name's Reba. It's a pleasure to meet you, Michel."
Michel.
Enchanté, mademoiselle.
It's a pleasure. So Dr. Gupta told me that you're needing to find somebody. Usually I'm able to find things with the dogs, but what brings you into the supernatural circles?
I am. God, how much does he want to reveal? It's not something you usually blab out loud about. I am in town for business, and part of the business is finding this this woman who I met at a party the other day. She, I'm kind of embarrassed to say, but she dropped her purse and trying to return her property.
Well, that'll make it much easier for us to find her if you've got her purse. I tell you what, I've got
To the audience, not a complete lie.
See, the best kind.
right. I reckon I've got another dog walking session in a couple of hours. If you'd like, you can meet me here and we'll walk the dogs and find out what we can find out.
That sounds good. Yes. Do you charge for your finding abilities, your services?
Well, I generally don't, but if you've got an expense account, then I've got expenses.
I have a little bit. I can help out with some of that stuff. Yes.
That would be mighty fine.
I'm assuming he has maybe $100 of petty cash usable for such an occasion.
Well, that is, I think that's fair to assume. So you guys are going to, unless there's something else, you guys are going to part ways with the understanding that you'll meet back here in a couple of hours. So with her being Southern and all of that, she was very polite to you and didn't say no, but she might still change her mind because she may not have liked what you said. So I'd like you to please roll Guile against a difficulty of 3 to make sure that she comes back later.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Okay, here's a question.
Yes.
I have a stunt, crazy ninja powers, +2 guile while hunting. Does this technically count as hunting since I'm using her as my...
I'm going to say no. I think that's a little bit too far of a stretch.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
I am going to spend a fate, probably going to have to end up spending a fate point.
Well, the difficulty is 3 and your guile is 3, so that gives you at least even odds. So that is success at a minor cost.
At a minor cost. I think the minor cost would be her expenses. So I have to get rid of all of the cash on hand I have available to pay her off.
I think that sounds good. All right, cool. So yeah, so she will definitely meet you back in a few hours. And you are able to go back to the ethics section.
What was the dog's name?
She didn't give the dog's name.
Didn't Dr. Gupta tell me a name of the dog, or was it just
for her name is Reba.
right? I thought Dr. Gupta gave me a dog name too, but
No,
Dog's name is Dog.
your name is Dog.
with an AW.
The bounty hunter.
Dog.
Dog.
All right.
No, that's
All right. So meanwhile, back at the ethics section.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Back at the
Robbie,
ethics
Hucks.
section.
we're
So
still
did-
like, oh, hi, Hucks. You're alive. Wasn't really sure.
I was gone like a few, like not that long. Why is everybody surprised?
You kind of disappeared for a couple hours,
Yeah, you did. A lot went down. We got
relatively speaking.
If
It
you
did.
must know, I'm lactose intolerant, and so I had to spend that time
Mm.
playing Bejeweled on my phone while I was inside the bathroom.
I didn't need to know that.
Well, apparently you did.
Well, let's bring Hucks up to speed. I mean, we don't need to. I don't know that we need to role play. Well, I guess
Yeah.
maybe we do because you weren't actually, as a player, you weren't here either. So maybe you do need to be brought up to speed. But
But
we're actually
Can I-
allied
is there-
with those weirdos now. So-
is there a way that I can tell that Hux is lying?
I mean, well, here's the thing. Like, so you want to be able to tell that Hux is lying. So it would be, I think, Guile versus Guile. If you guys would like to
Street Fighter mirror
contest
match.
that.
Final
So-
Destination Fox only fight.
Guile versus Guile.
Where's my?
I just think it's like I am the pinnacle of my community, and I don't know why people would assume I'm lying all the time.
I assume that you're a community of one, which is why you can be the pinnacle of your community.
I did not roll that well. I didn't roll well at all. Oh,
Oh,
You can spend fate points on this roll if you want to, John.
I just got a shiny new fate point. I don't want to waste it on this.
Fair enough.
Right? So you know that I was lying. My clever ruse of lactose intolerance and Bejeweled didn't fool you.
well, Hux, you're lying, but I guess
Uh-oh.
in time you'll share with us what exactly
What, that's
it
it?
was that you were doing.
He's off the hook that easy?
We did
I know
dice
you're
roll for
li-
that.
You know, I know you're lying, but you know what? Yeah, it's whatever.
We all have our secrets.
I trust
I can't
that you'll
force him.
tell me the truth in time.
I can't
The-
force him to tell us the truth, unless, of course, he was co-conspirator with the denarian, and that's why he was missing for so long. But-
Hucks.
No. How can I be a co-conspirator with something I don't even know what that is?
Mm-hmm. That's something a co-conspirator would say.
That's like the opposite of what a co-conspirator would say.
I kind of go up to him and I smell his shoulder, like his clothes, and like,
Whoa, stay away from my
That's-
blood.
you were at Dunkin' Donuts.
What?
I can smell it. We've been there so often. It is apparently we get together, we go
That's
to
pretty
Dunkin'
sad.
Donuts. It's
Well-
the thing that we do. It's kind of sad actually, and you
Now I kind
just
of
went
want
there
Dunkin'
again.
Donuts.
But there was
Okay.
something else. Because you would have just said, "Oh, I went to Dunkin' Donuts."
No.
Yes.
Oh wait, you really want to know what I was up to?
Yes.
Okay, but if I tell you, you're becoming co-conspirators in a crime.
I've been co-conspirators in a crime before.
Really? I don't think you have. No, I was meeting with one of my fences who was pretty much inquiring why I haven't sold anything in a couple days. Normally, I do a pretty brisk trade with stolen stuff. And so right now, I haven't brought in a couple things. So it's weird. Remember that night when we met? I was inside the mansion trying to steal things. Well, I haven't found anything worth hawking to this fence. Now, they're not coming after me to break my legs, but they were more concerned with the fact that I might have been taking whatever goods I had and going to another fence across town. So
Were you?
they just wanted to meet and make sure that I wasn't two-timing them.
Are you?
No, I haven't gotten anything. Look, has anything gone missing around here?
In this apartment, I would never be able to tell.
No, nothing's gone missing.
I respect you enough to not steal your things.
And I
Or
hope you
anything-
fear me enough to know you should not steal my things.
Yeah, I'm totally afraid. I tremble at times.
Very
Although
funny.
stay away. Although by the way, the moment I said "save for my blood," my hands did genuinely go up. So, but no, just that's what it was. That was what my meeting was. Just making
I'm not
sure
the one.
I'm
I'm not the one who wants your blood. I don't know who wants your blood.
Oh, really? You don't?
No,
I thought you liked strawberry donuts.
I like glazed donuts.
With strawberry filling, full of iron.
No, I like them with
Strawberry
whipped
donuts
cream.
veganism.
I like whipped cream filled donuts, like any normal person.
Whipped cream with strawberry flavoring.
No, I don't
And
understand what the thing about the strawberries is. I'm allergic to strawberries.
Not really, so's my mom.
Okay, anyways, we need to go find a denarian.
There's also on your screen, Evie, the.
Oh, I closed that. I closed that before I
oh.
let him in.
Oh, okay. So then, like, the guy who's sitting in the chair, like, you know, being threatened, like, you shut that window.
I have it on my phone.
Okay, fair enough. It's got a little counting down.
Oh,
It went from
lovely.
1 hour to like 59 minutes.
Listen, do you have any contacts for trying to find a denarian?
If you fill me in, then probably. I know a lot of people.
We fill him in. About the
I think
denarian.
at this point Michel will be back. Michel has gone and did his little cafe thing.
Je suis de retour.
I'll let
back.
I'll let Michel in as soon as he asks.
Merci.
Oh, hey, Michelle, what's up?
I just glare at
Nice.
Hucks. Enfin, t'es là. Quel connard.
How did your search go?
I have a meeting with a woman who knows how to find things, and her dog can magically detect practically anything. So I need the bag that the book was in to use to track the creature.
We should still have that. I go rooting around.
You know, I can't even decide if Hux would be like a dog that senses things when he hangs out with Faye. So I really
No,
don't
we
know.
don't. We don't have the book. Doesn't Gupta still have the book?
No, but
Right, he has the book, but the bag.
yeah, the thing that we
jeez.
wrapped the
If
bag
Hucks
in.
didn't steal it, it's around here somewhere.
Whoa, that's rude.
No,
I go
if you didn't steal
searching
it.
around my desk, trying to find.
You're
the
able to
wrapping.
find it. It's there. You guys are able to find it.
I will hand it over.
See, looks like I did steal it, Ravi.
Mon
I
Dieu.
didn't
Like
say
I
you
said.
did.
Like I said, I don't think Hux is stupid enough to try and steal anything from me.
That sounds like a challenge, but I won't.
Yeah, I don't think you actually want to do that. I'd probably ruin you socially and physically.
Well,
Oh.
socially, you could tell everybody that my my Bejeweled scores or my lactose intolerance wasn't real.
Well, it wasn't real. You were lying.
You don't know.
Yes, we
Yes,
do.
we do.
Have you ever seen me have a milkshake? I don't believe you have.
And at
Yes,
this
I-
point, the camera kind of pans over, and Michelle's just sitting there with a bag of popcorn.
Yeah,
Doing
pretty
the
much.
show.
Doing the look from The Office.
Sure. I don't know what that means, but why not?
I'll send you gifts later.
So Michelle, while you're enjoying your popcorn, your phone beeps.
And I kind of tilt it toward Ravi.
The phone?
No, the popcorn.
Oh,
Okay. All
Trying
right.
to-
I was
I'm
like, am
sharing
I
my
listening
popcorn.
in on that?
Yeah.
No, popcorn.
You see that it's a text message from Reba saying that was it one of her one of her dog walking clients pushed up the meeting, and she'll be able to meet you in half an hour.
Oh mon Dieu, c'est assez tôt. It seems that the hunt will be on a lot sooner than anticipated. I have un demi-heure, 1/2 of an hour to meet my my new contact for searching.
Hey,
Does-
Hux, why don't you go accompany Michel? He needs a buddy, a friend, to go track the denarian with. Don't want to do it alone, which is some magical tracking dog.
He drops the popcorn.
Okay, that's fine. Wouldn't want to stick around here and steal things on accident, as I've been accused by 2 different people here.
I didn't accuse you of stealing anything. I just said.
Where we are going, you can do it on purpose. It's fine.
And if you think
guys,
about stealing anything, I will ruin you.
You guys are all high and mighty. Just you guys all are like, oh well, Hucks, just because he might have stolen something in the past, he's going to steal something now. Has it ever occurred to you that I've only stolen for like the cause of justice?
Well, you did also claim to meet with a
That's
fence
not true.
just a couple of hours ago. So
You told me you steal things to make money. That's not the cause of justice.
Is it not just to make money to help better my community? I'll leave you to think on that as I leave with Michelle. Come on, Michelle. I don't believe we're wanted here.
Well, here's the question: Is Ravi going to let Michel and Hucks go like by themselves to go and hunt down this denarian?
I mean, probably not.
I kind
Even
of
though it
figured
is much
I'm not
easier.
offering a compel.
It is much
I'm
easier just to stay behind and sit on Evie's couch. That's probably a lot easier and like a
Well,
lot more comfortable.
what
But
I
in
imagine-
reality, it's probably not a good idea to let them go alone.
No, but what I imagined that they were doing was just trying to find it.
That's
not
what I-
going
but-
to go find it and then kill it.
But it might find them while they're
Because
looking
I'm
for
trying
it.
to find an excuse for me and Robbie to go deal with this
That's true.
trapped man.
Evie just wants to get Ravi alone. Is really what's happening here.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't?
No,
Well, that's true.
Evie just needs to use Ravi to
Well-
act as his voice in this case. Because Evie's not going in there, but Ravi will, and hand the person a phone.
And that is true. I will go in there. Now I'm torn. Okay, I'll help you find this person, but you guys shouldn't. If you see it, don't approach it.
Yeah, if you find it, don't kill it. Just wait for us.
Of course, that is always has been the plan.
It nearly killed 2 of you when you were fighting it, so
No, it
have
didn't.
all of us there.
We were fine.
Yeah, we did pretty well against it.
We all
Says the man
survived.
who got shot.
You did get shot.
Hucks.
Oh, that one. Yeah, sorry. Nope, in my head, misplaced this one. Yeah.
Wasn't shot by.
I
the
was shot
denarian.
by someone else. I was
Well-
shot by the monster.
You still got shot. That's
Still got
just all
shot.
we're saying. That's really where it ends. Is you got shot. It doesn't. I don't need to know more than that.
You're right. So our biggest fear is we find the monster, and it once again has guards who they're the ones that
Just
shoot.
don't approach it. Just find out where it's hiding or living or working
All right.
or whatever.
Then we are off.
You're right. We have business to take care of.
We do.
Wait a minute. What business?
Other.
Whoop. It's
Wait, what
push
was
them
that?
out.
That was
Oh, I
the
thought
fun- Whoop. So
They're like,
you're pushing
You're
down
pushing
a
them out
slide.
the door.
Whee!
That's how
Awesome,
how you get out. There's a
There's a
garbage
little
chute.
slide.
Whoop. That's
So-
that's the alternate exit.
she just threw me out the window.
It's in the- it's
I don't think that's
in
an
the
exit at
trash
all.
room.
I think she literally just threw me out the window. Time to go. Goodbye. Rah!
Yay, that's awesome. All right, cool. So, all right, so you guys are going to split the party. That's fantastic. I love it when you
It's
guys do
fate.
that.
Fate is easy to split the party because you can still bounce around really easily.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I keep the
Randy's
threats
just
the
like,
same.
I'm
It's
dying
fine.
on the inside. I hate myself. Why? Why did I do
Hey,
this?
it's not like my private game that I run on Wednesday nights where all 4 players go in 4 different directions. And then at the
Somehow
end of
it
the night-
happens all the time.
and then at the end of the night, they tell me, like, we really should stick together. And I'm like, that's on you. That's on you.
And it doesn't
like,
happen.
Stick together. And then the next session, it's like, oh, well, here's this obvious direction to go. And they scatter. And that's fine. Everybody has a good time, but whatever. So let's see. So Evie and Ravi, you guys are going to Abera to solve that problem. And
Well, actually, we
Michelle
have a
and
pit
Hucks-
stop to make first because I have $5,000 to go buy supplies.
And what else?
Oh.
Let's get a switch for the apartment. Not apartment.
Okay,
The,
so we'll start with that.
I
We'll
know.
start with that. So Evie, you and Ravi hop in Ravi's van, and where are you guys
Can we
going?
buy
You
a
guys
new-
going to
can we
like
buy a
Fry's
new van?
Electronics?
No, we're not buying a new van. You would still buy a shitty van for $5,000.
That's true.
Okay, so we're gonna stop at an electronics store that Evie likes to go to. That is not named, so somebody name it, I guess.
What? Not Best Buy?
No,
Aren't
not
you worried
Best Buy.
I'll steal the name too?
Well, Hucks isn't naming it. You are.
Nick's Quick Parts Electronics Boutique.
Nick's Quick Parts Electronics Boutique.
All one
That's
word.
a mouthful.
Nick's
It's not a very. That's not really a good name.
and electronics. I'm writing this down. An electronics
It's a perfect name.
boutique.
If it was owned by an Italian owner, it could be called Circuits Maximus.
Actually, the guy that owns it's not even named Nick.
And its
The
tagline
previous
is,
owner was Nick. It was an old electronics boutique, but they didn't have enough money to get rid of the sign, so they just put a new sign up next to it.
Nick's Quick Parts and Electronics Boutique. Nick was the former owner, and their catchphrase in the advertising is "off the truck prices," or "fell off the truck prices."
I think
They are fell off the truck items.
I think Nick is a guy I know. So just saying.
Maybe. So, all right. So you guys pull in, you're at like this plaza, where like Nick's Quick Parts and Electronics Boutique, was obviously
It's a seedy little strip mall.
Well, it obviously like used to be another store. Like it used to be like a hairdressing salon, and when you walk in, you can kind of tell, just because it still has some of the mirrors that they haven't replaced, but they just put shelves over top of it. It's like totally like as discount as you can get. The goods are reasonable quality, but the presentation is like homeless.
You forgot to mention that there's a liquor store on one side and a check to cash place on the other.
And if you go one more down, you can buy human hair. So, yeah. And don't forget the tanning / laundromat.
And there's
but anyway,
also the Chinese place that's in every strip mall across America.
which is really good.
Yes, it's surprisingly
Oh my
delicious.
god, I love those cheap little.
Oh my God. My
There's
favorite
one right
place
next
is-
to my comics shop. It's dangerous.
My favorite is First Walk 2 in Indianapolis. That's my favorite.
That used to be my favorite. It's been replaced.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's always the
Sorry,
worst.
there's one I like better.
All right. So, you guys go into this electronics store, behind the counter, is the guy. He's like an older man, kind of portly. He's got like a long gray beard. He's like, "Hey, what can I do? What can I do for you? Welcome."
Oh, hi, Edward. Just need a couple of supplies, and I hand him a list of things.
He gives a slow whistle. He's like, "You want an awful lot tonight. You want an awful lot tonight."
Yes, specifically
Lily.
on the list are 2 small remote transmitter like earbud things you can stick in your ear and listen.
Yeah.
That you
My
can
roommate has one
also
of those.
speak through as well.
The bone conduction.
I need 5 more burner phones, and a Nintendo Switch.
Which is coming.
That's not going to spend $5,000,
no.
but that's still a lot of money that Evie is not used to having all at one time. And also probably a couple of new parts for her computer as well.
Okay. So he has most of what you need on hand, like the parts for your computer. Well, I'll say he's got everything you need on hand.
Those
He's
are
like-
easy things.
He goes, he also, let me think. Oh, you know what? I want to compel you, but you have so many fate points.
Oh, also long distance binoculars,
Oh.
and it needs to be 3 of the earpieces, not 2.
Oh, can they be binoculars like in Star Wars? That like
I tell you what, we're gonna you've got the cash, which is great, but we're still gonna need to make a roll to find out like if he has it or not.
Sure.
In ordinary fate, I would say that like we would make a resources roll because that's a fantastic skill for that sort of thing, but we don't have that. So instead, we're going to have to figure out This is a sticky point for Dresden Files Accelerated. Like, how is your approach affecting this?
Obviously, I'm hungry for technology.
Jesus. I think it's going to be haste because you're in a hurry.
I think that makes sense.
The only complicated parts are like the earpieces, the earbuds. And so I'm going to set the difficulty at a 4 that he'll have those. Like he'll have the Nintendo Switch, your parts, the burner phones, and all of that. But I'm going to set the difficulty at 4 with a haste.
All right. I think that's a 2. That's a 2. Plus 2. Wow, that's a trash roll. Okay.
Yeah, that's garbage. That's borderline like fate point to reroll territory.
I think I am going to spend a fate point to reroll.
All right, on what aspect?
I'm going to say...
Just as a reminder, on the Trello board, I have added 2 aspects that are universal. I forgot to mention it at the beginning. One is hunting the denarian, and the other is working, in quotes, for the Middletons. So these are aspects that can be compelled against you and that you can use that seem to like tie into the story as it is right now.
I think unwilling founder of nebulous organization, the truth, aka my aspect that's a mouthful, will fit. Because this is for trying to find somebody who is a part of my nebulous organization of the truth. So,
I think that sounds good. Go ahead and
All
give
right,
it a reroll. I will spend the fate point.
again.
You go from 4 to 3 fate points.
Oh, there we go. 3.
All right. That is success at a cost unless you want to spend another fate point.
I want him to have all the things, so I want the cost to be something else.
So, yeah, well, if it's success at a cost, then he'll have the things.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's not going to work.
Maybe I need to do him a favor because I'm gonna clean him out on the earpieces.
Well, I tell you what. Here's what I say. I say that you have a backlog with him that you have to pay off. Like you've bought a lot of stuff on credit. And so that's going to like melt away most of that $5,000 that you have.
Okay. I want at least 1,000 for a new tattoo.
What kind of tattoo are you getting?
Her tattoo artist is expensive.
There you go. So that's fine.
It's
$4,000
not what kind of tattoo, it's how many tattoos.
Yeah.
It costs
Okay,
$4,000 as he itemizes your list. He's like, Lily, you owe me for this. Lily, you owe me for this. Lily, you owe me for this. I assume that you use false names everywhere. 'Cause
Oh,
that's
sure.
what you've
Yeah,
been
Lily
doing.
works.
Like, I mean, you know, so, I mean, who knows if Evie even is her real name? So anyway, so he just goes through the list and basically like you burn through $4,000. Robbie, you watch as Evie hands over $4,000 for all of these parts. She just has the cash right in her pocket.
I mean, I know where she got it from. I don't know that I cared too much. I mean, part of my heart hurts, but she did buy a Switch for me. So like at the same time, I'm like, that's more money than I get like for an entire year basically to live off of. But I don't know.
No. Tell us, Ravi. Tell the class. How does it make you feel that she has, legitimate money that totally isn't unscrupulous? And how does it make you feel that you're profiting from all of this while Hucks is a bad man?
I know where that. Hey, she didn't steal that money. I was there when it was handed to her.
That's the thing. I don't think so. Oh, no, yeah, you were. That's right. Yeah, because it was handed to me at first.
Yeah,
Yes.
he gave it to you as like.
As what?
What was the word? Blackmail? Not blackmail.
No,
Incentive.
payment for the book.
Well, sure, but like, if you bring me the book, you get this $5,000. But then he just gave us the $5,000 anyway.
No,
Yeah, but
Evie has the $5,000.
Sure, he
Yeah.
gave Evie the $5,000.
that's because I agreed to also bring him the book, which
Right.
you do actually not know about. But I will
That
tell
part,
you
right. I
as soon
don't
as we
know
get in
about
the
that
car.
part. I do not know, but I know that she has the $5,000 from him.
Yes.
So
Yeah. How's that feel? Is that just? Just curious.
We're going to pan back to the other group. So Michel and Hucks You guys need to meet up with the dog walker, Reba. Reba meets up with you at the coffee shop. She has like 3 or 4 dogs. They're all like show poodles. And they're all, of course, they've got like the little bobs on their tails and like their faces, like their heads rather, and all that, like, you know, how people do poodles.
Yeah. No, they're full size, not the toy ones, right?
Correct. So like, you know, she's like, howdy, Michel, it's good to see you again. Who's your friend?
Riva, this is my friend Ravi. He was also at
Hucks.
the party. Wait, Hucks is
I can't be everywhere at once.
But you should.
Ravi is just going to slowly replace every single character.
I am
Ravi,
all of you.
Ryan, the next stunt Ravi takes is bifurcation, which will allow him to be in 2 scenes at once.
There you go.
Just saying.
Awesome.
This is my friend. And I kind of look at Hux, wait, you know, pausing like half a beat too long just to make sure I can use his name. You know, make sure you don't want to like have a. This is my friend Hucks. He was also à la fête avec moi. The party. He was at the party with me. And Hucks, this is Reba. She is going to help us find the woman who dropped her purse. And I'll hold up the bag.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Well, it's a mighty pleasure, Hux. And it's mighty kind of you to try and get this purse back to this woman.
Michel's
So-
horrible right now because poor Reba. This is the only thing that's going through my head. Is what the hell are we getting her into?
Right. So let's see. She takes the bag from you. She lets the dog sniff it. And she's like, I hope y'all are ready for a walk. And so you guys begin like, you know, just kind of like dog walking, and walking along. It is going to be a long walk to get to where you're going from there. And so, let's see. Is it fair to ask for a roll for that? I'm going to
For walking?
Well, for walking a long distance.
Do you get a roll for walking?
I'm a freaking
Yeah.
hunter, dude. Empowered with the mantle of the Earl King. I don't think walking's a problem.
Fair enough. I'm just trying to think of rolls for you guys to make. You have too many fate points. I want to compel you
make
guys.
Know how many
but-
they have.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys continue. It takes several hours of walking. You manage to find your way, actually, with the assistance of the dog. Michel, you're going to have to make a overcome roll to track. The difficulty for this, since you're not doing it just cold, I'm going to reduce it to 5. And it sounds like the approach that you're taking, trying to think of what approach would be best for this. Haste doesn't seem to be the case because you guys aren't in a hurry.
I would go with focused, honestly.
Yeah.
All right.
Time-consuming action where close attention is paid to detail.
Yeah. All right. Let's give it a focus roll. The difficulty is 5.
Okay, which sucks because my focus is 1.
Oh.
Let's see.
He's a very easily distracted
am-
hunter.
I'm going to give you an aspect since you. I'm going to give you an aspect called Magical Dog Walker. I'm just going to put that. Since you've got
Magical dog
that
walker.
that seems to be something that you should be able to spend a fate point against
Right.
while doing this.
What is my current fate point at? Am I at 3 or 4?
3. You're at 3.
Okay. Because I'm going to most likely need to use a fate point or 2 because I've got my +2 when hunting while using guile.
Yeah.
And I don't think faster, stronger, tougher would work either in this case.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Faster, stronger, tougher.
+1 to physical actions per box of
Yeah.
wild power.
No, that definitely doesn't fall in there. Now, one thing that I will mention is that in a previous episode, we gave you a free invoke on your trouble aspect, which was new in town, because you spent it to refuse a compel. That free invoke is still sitting there. I think that moving it from new in town to fresh meat in the Earl King's service is fine. So that free invoke is still there for you to use, just so that you're aware. It's marked on the Trello board, and just so you understand that that's a possibility.
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and invoke that if I can.
And one of the things that you could also do. Whoa, something just disappeared. What just disappeared? All right. One of the things that you could do too is you've got Hucks with you, and Hucks has all of that piles of information from the Middletons. There might be something useful in there, and he has a free invoke on that. So you've got some options.
Okay. Well, I am definitely going to invoke the fresh meat in the Earl King's service because I am trying to use this as a way to prove to them that I am not just fresh meat.
Well, why don't you go ahead and make the roll and see what happens? I mean, obviously, it's going to be tough to hit a. Oh.
Okay, so that's
very close to the 5.
Yep, so I got a 3, and I will spend that 1 invoke to make it a 5.
All right, fresh meat is gone. The free invoke on fresh meat is gone, which makes it a 5, which is a tie, which is a success at a minor cost.
Do not want a tie. We have an
I have that information.
Yes. Would it be all right, John, if I use Hux's information?
Out of nowhere, you see me just as we're walking along. You know, we're chatting openly with Reba, but with you and me, we're just kind of like, you know, just chatting like, you know, back and forth. And then I just pull out the little tiny Senopad that I had that had all the information that I had copied down on it, and I hand it over to you.
Ah, very good. This will definitely help.
Okay. So that takes you to a 5 to a 7, which is a straight up success. Yes. I am going to, let's see, I haven't spent any of my fate points today, and I've got 4 of them. So
it's time to spend them.
Right. Got to spend them. I'm actually going to spend a fate point on hunting the denarian. Denarians are particularly difficult to find. And so as a result of that, like everything, like the information that you have, like using the dog walker and everything, it's much more complicated than it needs to be. Bringing the difficulty up to a 7, which means success at a minor cost.
Right, but you have to remember, I have emerging confidence with my newfound friends, and this information was given to me by Hucks, which brings it up to a 9. Spending a fate point for that. Hucks, I just spent a fate point on you. Don't say I never did nothing for me.
Aw.
You're right.
Don't say I never did nothing for me.
On your behalf.
So that is a 9. That's an outright success. I don't like that. I want to spend another fate point. I'm going to actually spend a... yeah, why not? I'm going to spend a fate point on Hux's caught in a criminal web. Since this is a hostile invoke, at the end of the scene, Hux will get an additional fate point. And so what this means is that goes back up to 9 because Hux, as you guys are kind of wandering around, a local gang that has a violent interest in you recognizes you, and suddenly you guys kind of hop on the bus for a shortcut that turns out not to be a shortcut that actually delays you a little bit so that you can get out and not be this particular gang that has a violent interest in you doesn't catch you.
There's a gang that has an interest in me?
Well, there's maybe it's not necessarily a gang, but just a criminal who has a violent interest in you. Somebody who doesn't like you, who wants to break a bone or two. You are caught in a criminal web. So it might not necessarily be about you, but you need to to route around that causes a delay. So now we're at 9 against 11. Wait a minute. I spent 2 fate points.
You spent 2 fate points. I spent 1 fate point, 2 free invokes. So we should be 9 and 9.
Yeah, we are 9 and 9. That's success at a minor cost.
I guess I'm going to minor cost it up.
All right. Let's see. Oh.
I was just looking. So I was looking at my stunt, seeing if anyone would apply. And yeah, because she's helping us willingly right now, so one of my stunts wouldn't work.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what the minor cost can be. Okay, I know exactly what the minor cost can be. So you guys are following the dog walker. You guys have been taking various shortcuts, like hopping on buses and like finding the directions that the dogs are kind of pointing at, trying to like shortcut some of the walking, because you guys actually have to cover like many miles to get where you're going. On the outskirts of town, there is this large mall. Okay, so it is a mostly abandoned mall, like most malls in America are basically abandoned. And so this mall was like the height of everything in the 90s. Like it's got like 3 stories, like lots of stores, but just like it's down to like 1/3 of the stores remaining, and those third stores aren't necessarily like stores that you want, like but so you get to this abandoned mall, and the dogs are kind of like leading you into this abandoned mall. And as you guys kind of like walk through the doorways, the chitter chatter that you guys have been having with Reba, like just carrying on conversations, like she's very pleasant and nice. When she walks through the doors, like all of that conversation stops, and her and the dogs just very calmly begin walking through the mall.
That's weird.
Yes. And she pays you no attention.
I look at Michelle like, is this normal? I mean,
she is from your country, not mine. I don't know, but the Hollywood tells me that the Southern Belle doesn't just stop talking.
And the dogs aren't really. Randy said the dogs are being quiet. The dogs acting like how.
The dogs are acting like calm dogs, just walking through the mall. Like before, they were a little bit. Like,
I would walk up and I try to pet one.
They, you pet them, but they don't stop. They don't stop walking.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Michelle and be like, "Yeah, something is up."
I slowly and silently pull my hunting knife out from its sheath and kind of hold it just down my leg, so it's in hand, but it's not obvious that I'm holding a weapon.
We've got to get you a longer coat.
Wait, I think I can fix this. And he kind of does the Jedi mind trick wave, and his coat elongates.
Better. See, there you go. Now, when you're walking, twist the blades like the handles down, so it's upside your sleeve, and just walk like with a very rigid arm, but not too rigid. Make sure you move it a little bit. Loosey goosey.
And as you guys walk down the mall exit, we switch over to Evie and Ravi.
Okay.
Having a little party now that everyone's gone.
Playing Switch.
Well, you guys have all of your equipment. The countdown is now like 22 minutes on the little video.
Okay.
Well, we better hurry.
Well, Robbie, you own a large hoodie with a hood, right? Well,
Yeah, actually,
obviously it's a
yeah.
hoodie. It would have a hood, but does it have a large
Yes.
hood?
Sure.
Okay.
Define large. Large.
Covers your eyes.
Sure. Probably. I'm a
Okay.
college student.
Okay.
So that sounds about right.
All right. Okay. I need you to put that on. Take this. I hand him one of the earpieces. And here's another one as well. What you're going to do, you're going to listen to my instructions. I'm going to go into either a business or get on the roof of somewhere nearby and watch. You're going to go in, tell them that you are Raziel from The Truth, and that you have a message. And then whenever
You can just talk into my ear, right?
Yes, that is what I'm going to do. But I'm just prefacing what's going to happen. and tell them you're going to stay in the waiting area where there's people. Okay. If you need to, back out the door and say that you'll wait directly outside. When somebody comes to greet you, you hand them this, and I hand them the second earpiece, and I will talk through that.
Okay.
They will be able to hear me, and I'll be able to hear you. We'll all be able to hear each other.
Okay, but who are you going to say you are?
Who I actually am.
Oh, okay.
You're just posing as me. They shouldn't know who exactly I am.
Well, let's.
Hopefully this will
All
go
right,
well.
let's do it. Let's hope.
And I'll be close. So.
Fingers are crossed.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I need to give them the book.
What?
as we
these
as we
people?
pull up in park. Not these people, no. I need to give the senator the book.
I don't really have time to process that right now.
Okay.
The
Oh
long
no,
box.
let's be completely cool with this. Yeah, I agree.
All right, great. So Ravi, do you do as instructed?
Yeah, I'm gonna basically funnel the message through the earpiece. I mean, like, so what? I mean, is it just one guy that greets me?
Well, hold on. I skipped ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Evie,
okay.
Evie needs to basically. There's not really any businesses nearby that like you can kind of like sit and be on your computer or something.
Mm-hmm.
But you could get onto the roof. This is going to be basically. I imagine you're trying to get onto the roof so that you're close enough, and that you're also hidden and unnoticed.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a guile. Difficulty 3. It's going to be an overcome.
All right. I'm going to spend a fate point. I'm going to do. Can I use my high concept again? Do you think that works?
Well, I mean, it's for every exchange, which is a roll, you can use whatever aspects you want. So you can keep going back to that well.
Okay.
But how does that help you like climb up a building and hide unhidden or unseen?
I don't know. I mean, because none of them really help me with that. But I mean, I could also put a box.
Well,
I could also check a box of knowledge and say that I researched this location and know a good place to go.
No, but you could take your mantle, right? Or can you not do that?
No, your mantle is not an aspect. No, so that is the knowledge. That is what, preparation? Once per scene, when confronting a threat you have had the opportunity to investigate, you may mark a knowledge to reveal that you have a useful item on hand. 1 box is sufficient for common items, 3 for obtainable with mild effort, all 5 for especially esoteric items. I
don't think we're looking at the same thing because I'm talking about knowledge, not preparations. That's a stunt.
Mark a box. When you leverage the information you have gathered in the workings of the supernatural world. This is not
I'm
the
thinking of
supernatural
chasing
world.
rumors. Yeah.
Aid rolls to overcome or create advantage when your research into supernatural threats is relevant. Technically, the White Court is a supernatural threat, so I think that chasing rumors as a stunt would apply here.
Okay.
So you could mark a box of knowledge.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I will mark off a box of knowledge on your character sheet.
Though I do have a question. Actually, yeah, that's right. It's on your sheet.
Okay. Yeah. It looked like there was one from a previous session. It should have regenerated, so it's marked.
Well, I had it marked from the previous because we haven't had a whole lot of downtime where I could recoup that. So I've just kept it there. I mean, I have 5 boxes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you've only got 1 check because it should recover with every session.
Okay.
But
I do have a question.
Yes.
Since we did change disgusted by her hunger to disgusted by her vampiric hunger, that references the fact that Evie is in fact infected by the Red Court. Would this preclude her to having some kind of strength or speed or toughness
Mhm.
in order
Yeah.
to climb and
Yeah.
do
You could
things
do,
like
you
that.
could do that. You could do
Okay.
that. Do you want to spend a fate point, or do you want to spend a checkbox in knowledge?
Let's just do the knowledge, but I just want to ask that for future reference because then that
Yes.
will give me some more physical options as opposed to where before I had none. So
Yes.
There is a
Okay.
stunt for that.
yes, well, I have vampiric toughness specifically.
Yeah. Well, there's the stronger, faster, tougher. Or
All right.
fast-
So let's see. That was with spending. You spent. I set the difficulty at 3. Spending fate point on.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up to a 3.
You're bringing it up to a 3, which is success at a minor cost. Let's see. I still have 2 fate points in this scene to spend. This is a split scene, but I've got 2 fate points.
You're gonna make me spend fate points, are you?
I'm thinking about it. Definitely thinking about it. I don't have a good one. Not with the aspects. Let's see what aspects I've got in the scene. No. Yeah, no, I don't have anything for you. So I guess, oh. You know what? No, I don't want to give you fate point at the end, so I'm not going to hostile invoke. So we'll leave it at that. Success at a minor cost.
I used my
So-
knowledge, not my fate point,
Yeah.
so I should still have 4.
Okay. Sorry. I will
It's fine.
reset that. Damn it. All right. So I've reset it. Let's see. That was actually used. Let me mark that. All right. So minor cost for climbing up the side of the building to go unseen. I know the minor cost. You're going to have a poor connection on the roof.
And how am I going to be able to talk? Then that kind of defeats the purpose.
Well, no, you're going to be able to talk. It's just going to be a poor connection. So it's just going to cut out from time to time.
Like what was just happening to me right now.
Yep.
For you.
Yep, exactly.
Happened on this end too.
So
That-
do
yeah.
you want to spend another fate point, or is that a good cost?
Yeah, I'm going to spend a fate point on disgusted by her vampire hunger.
All right, you managed to get
So
up
that
there,
I
no
have
problem.
an awesome connection.
Yes, many gigabits. So
Whatever.
yeah, all right. So so you're up on top of the roof. So Ravi, you go inside the building. Ubera is a glass and brick building. Like it's in an older part of the DC area. The building itself has gotten like this like the Carmel makeover. Like it looks like
Ooh, very
like
fancy.
super fancy and ritzy. And so like it's lots of exposed brick and exposed pipes, but like then there's like lots of like glass and mirrors and things.
Very hipster chic.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
And it's a spa. There's like, like lots of comfortable little couches, magazines to read. There's a woman at the front desk that's just kind of just there and says, "Oh, good day."
No. Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm here for a meeting. I'm Raziel.
Oh, well, that is very nice. I will look
That's-
that up. And she kind of turns to the computer or the little iPad that's there with the little keyboard. She enters in Raziel.
No
And she's
matter. Sorry, go ahead.
She's like, can you spell that for me?
RAZIEL.
Raziel.
Oh, thank you. She enters it in, and she's like, oh, well, it is a pleasure to meet with you, Mister Raziel.
Raviel.
Raviel, sorry. And yes, please. She kind of She pulls out like a key card out of the drawer.
No matter what you do not let them lead you into any rooms. Tell them you will be staying in the reception area.
Okay.
She grabs a towel from like a rack that has towels, and she goes and so there's like a series of doors, but the door that she's leading you to is to like a more private area, and she kind of like swipes the keypad. She opens the door and she gestures for you to head on in.
What is this? A more private reception area?
No. This is where you'll take your meeting.
I was told the meeting would be in the reception area.
Oh, I'm afraid that you're mistaken.
So, am I supposed to be just sitting in this other private room? I'm saying loudly enough.
Yes, I can hear you. You don't have to shout.
There are assortment of beverages, and you are there are assortment of beverages, and someone will be with you shortly to
I'm really not sure what to do because all
Just
those
go through the
beverages look
door.
so good.
All you have to do is walk through the door.
I'm having a lot of
Say
trouble.
you're uncomfortable. You want
choosing
to
which
remain
beverage
in
to
a
drink.
public, well-seen,
Oh, well, then,
well-lit area.
If you would like some recommendations,
In fact,
we do have
this
some
whole thing
honest
is making
tea.
me feel uncomfortable.
We have some smart water. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I
It's
think I'd
okay. It's
prefer not to
perfectly
come into
natural.
this room.
Believe it or not, whenever you get a massage, it is perfectly natural. Sometimes your body may experience an erection, and our masseuses are accustomed to this. They don't do anything about it. This isn't that kind of shop, but just be aware that this is a thing that naturally occurs, and it is perfectly acceptable.
I think I'd be more comfortable just waiting in the reception area until my meeting is ready.
Say that you would like to meet your
meeting is
masseuse
ready.
in the reception area
Yeah, I'd like to
rather
meet my
than the
masseuse
private area.
in the reception area rather than the private area. I want our first point of contact to be on neutral ground.
Not in a dark room.
Not in a
that
dark
is
room.
enclosed.
That is enclosed.
She just kind of looks at you weird, like,
I'm very particular.
That's okay. We serve all kinds here, with no judgment. So yes, I'll see if your masseuse would be willing to come out and meet you here in the lobby and perhaps help guide you. If you'd like, I can. She goes behind her desk and she produces like a printout. Like, this is a list of the beverages that we have. I understand that you're having some difficulty making selection. So here, she hands you the sheet. She's like, you can pick and choose from the beverages that we have here on the list.
I'll take this with me to my seat in the reception area. I'll look over this list.
All right.
I really hope you actually said that part out loud.
I
will
did
take
say
this
that
to
part
my
out loud.
seat in the reception
I will
area.
take this over to my seat.
I will
The
look at this
reception
list.
area. I'll look over this list.
So like about 2 minutes later, coming out of the door that you should have gone into, a very handsome man comes through, pale skin, multicolor hair, comes out and is just kind of like looks around, sees that you're there scanning the beverage list, and just kind of like walks over like, "You Raziel?"
Yes,
"Sup? We got a meeting."
that's correct.
"Yeah, let's go. Come on."
Here
kind
is
of turns
fine.
and heads back to the door.
Here is fine.
No, here's not fine. We're gonna go have spa day in the back.
Why is here not fine?
Why is here not fine?
Because this is not where we do spa work. We do spa work back in the back.
I'd be more comfortable having my consultation out here in the open.
I'd be far more comfortable having my consultation here, right out in the open.
So this guy kind of comes up close to you, pulls over like a little like ball on wheels, and sits down like right next to you and like leans in close and is just like, "You do understand what happens if you don't come back to talk to me or talk to us?"
Don't say this out loud. Hand him the third earpiece.
I hand him an earpiece. Quietly, I hand it to him.
What's this, dog?
Tell him to put it in his ear.
Put in your ear.
Yeah, I know where it goes, dog. What is this? What's going on?
Put it in your ear and it'll all make sense. Just put it in your ear.
He puts it in his ear.
I'm using a voice changer. I believe you know who I am.
This is not what we asked for.
No, but I also didn't want to be taken into a back room and killed.
I'd also
Which
like not to be killed.
seemed very much like what you were trying to do to me and my friend.
So, for them to find this acceptable, I think you're going to have to convince him that this is acceptable.
Sure.
Okay. So, it sounds to me like you're trying to be forceful in this because you're trying to force your own
that's
way.
just so good. I am the best at that.
Hey, here's the deal. Whenever I say, like, I think this approach, I'm open to other approaches being like discussed or suggested or pushed back on. But basically, you're trying to force the issue that like this is the way that it's going to be. So it seems like a forceful approach to me. If there's an argument for another approach, I accept terms. Like we can talk about it. But it sounds like force.
Yeah, that does make sense. Though I could also say, probably not flare because I'm not trying to be flashy. I'm trying to be very secretive about this. I could say guile because I'm trying to be very
Guile
low-key
would work.
about this.
Yeah, I think guile could work.
Okay.
So the let's think about what the drawbacks would be. So if you're using the forceful approach, basically, and you fail, basically they're gonna like you're not gonna be able to do anything for this guy that they have. This Deep Centurion is his like the truth name. I'm resisting the urge to call them truthers because that's a totally different thing. That's ridiculous. And no one needs that nonsense.
No.
So guile, if you fail to convince them, like it seems that at least you'll have the backup of being able to come in yourself. So yes. Okay. So guile sounds good. I just needed to talk through it. I'm going to set the difficulty for this. They really wanted to meet you in person. I'm saying 4.
4. You can do it.
4.
I believe in you.
So 1.
All right. So you're 3 points away from the 4 difficulty. You've got fate points.
I do have fate points. I will use a fate point. I will use it on the high concept because I feel like that makes sense. I am who I say I am. And I can prove it by spouting off some kind of information about such things. Let's see. And then...
So I can make a suggestion for an aspect that would be interesting to use.
Okay.
And it's something that people don't typically think of. All the aspects that are in play are available to you to be used. Okay. We've got Ravi on the scene.
Yes.
So what this means is that you could, in theory, you spend a fate point on Ravi being targeted by evil forces, as the the Wraith family want to learn a little bit more about Ravi, and so they're willing to let Ravi come in and be an intermediary.
I was actually going to suggest that one, since you said that Ravi was on the scene.
Oh,
so
yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was just...
We were just thinking same thing, so...
all right. So that is 2 fate points spent by you, bringing you down to 1 fate point.
Should be 2.
You had 3.
I didn't spend any fate points in the trying to get up onto the roof. Did I spend one before that?
I think you spent 1 before that. There was no, because it was you spent the knowledge got a tie, and then you spent a fate point
that's right,
disgusted by your vampire hunger.
That's right.
To make it not because you didn't like my cost that I proposed.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't want the poor reception. Sorry, I forgot about it.
It would have been awesome.
No.
So yeah. So cool. All right. So that brings it to a 5. I have 1 fate point left on the scene. I'm going to reserve that. So that's success. He says, sure, why not? Sounds good. You've sent us, you've sent a liaison close enough. These are short range. We know you're in the area. Yeah, that sounds fine. So, so the guy like pulls the drink list out of Ravi's hand. Is like, you ready to go?
Yes,
All right, let's
I
go.
assume so.
So he
Oh.
leads you back. Let's see.
I'm still nervous about following him in any rooms,
Mm.
but I can take care of myself.
Are we going to
So-
do a camera shift over to the other scene, or are we staying on us?
Yeah, we can do a camera shift over to the other scene. Good point.
I was just wondering because it's just getting later, and it feels like we've been doing our thing for a while.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so we are back at the mall, the mostly abandoned mall. Michel, Hucks, you guys are at the mall. You've kind of started to walk around just a little bit. You notice that there are, a fair number of mall walkers walking around. There's not a whole lot of shoppers in this mall.
What
Okay.
But that's
kind of
like it's a mall. That could be the reason for it.
what kind of stores are we seeing?
Good question. So you're seeing like there is still like a couple of like the linchpin stores, like there's a J.C. Penney's or Boscov's, but there's not a whole lot of other ones. Like they're all smaller mom and pop shops that can now afford the rent now that it's bottomed out at the mall.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
So Washington Square.
yes, basically.
Okay, so we're not seeing people doing a lot of shopping, even though this would be the time of day where would be here. There's a lot of people mall walking, you say?
That is correct.
How fast are they mall walking?
Usual mall walking speed, which I guess isn't really helpful. Like they're all like walking at different paces, whatever is comfortable for them.
So more power walking and less strolling, right?
Yes, yeah. There's a bunch of power walkers. Some people are strolling, but it's mostly like power walkers. I've added a couple of aspects to the Trello board, mostly abandoned mall and mall walkers everywhere.
Okay, after about 5 minutes, I'm going to tap Reba on the shoulder.
Are you keeping up with Reba? Because she's walking at mall walking speed.
Oh yeah, we're
Oh, yeah.
keeping up.
Okay. Yeah, you tap her on the shoulder. She kind of ignores you.
Reba, tap on the shoulder again.
Continues to ignore you.
Reba, one of the dogs fell behind. You might want to go get it.
I'm gonna like wave my hand in front of her face, see if she blinks or something.
I mean, she blinks because of the wind. Like she's like still, but no real reaction.
Lights are on, but nobody's home.
Yeah, kind of situation.
Which I think is what's going on with these mall walkers. Do we pass by like an information kiosk?
Yeah.
And have we been inside the mall a fair amount of times? We've kind of like not necessarily done a circuit around the mall, but we've walked pretty deeply into the mall.
The mall has 3 floors, so you've covered like maybe like most of one floor.
Okay, hey Michelle, I'm gonna go ask see where that GameStop is, because video games, good. I love them.
Les Américains sont cons de temps en temps.
Yeah, cons on you too. Also, I give you that look, by the way, just sort of do you not pick up what's going on?
Oh yeah, it's hard for me to do the sarcasm in French and to get people to understand it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you knew what I said, it would make the sarcasm would come across a lot.
Ah, okay. Well, I walk up to the information booth.
Okay, so Hucks, you're going to walk up to the information booth to get information. We'll come back to that in one moment. Michel, while Hucks is away,
I'm sticking with Reba.
Yeah, you guys kind of like turn around the corner, and I'm going to compel mall walkers everywhere. As you kind of like come around the corner, there's a swarm of mall walkers, and you're going to be captured by the mall walkers. So I'm
What do you
offering
mean by captured?
I mean, they're going to swarm you, drive you down to the ground, and take you away.
Is it a zombie mall?
I'm from
But they're-
Pittsburgh. Of course the mall's zombie.
What is it, Century 3?
It is. It is Century 3 Mall. This is specifically, I saw pictures of it, abandoned at Christmas time. The saddest Santa with no kids.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Me and my mom went in there Black Friday. We thought we were in there by mistake because it was so quiet. There was no music and we saw nobody. We're like, do we leave?
You leave. It's
Oh.
it's almost as bad as like Pittsburgh Mills before it was sold for $1. It was so much in debt. It was sold for $1.
I remember going in there when it first opened, but back on topic.
Yeah, I know. So, Michel, I've offered you a compel on Mall Walkers Everywhere. Would you like to accept a fate point and move the story forward?
I totally get kidnapped by mall walking zombies.
Awesome. I love that. I have updated your fate points from 2 to 3. So, Hucks, you're at the information booth. There's no one at the information booth, but there is a computer there. There's a bunch of pamphlets, maps, etc.
Oh, I would have walked up to a person. I already committed. I'll still walk up to this booth.
Yeah, sorry.
So there's a computer there.
Yeah.
Step behind the counter.
Okay.
Is the computer on?
Yeah, it is.
What sort of computer? What is on this computer?
It's like the concierge software for like, was it like the Simon Malls? So.
Is there like a microphone?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Attention shoppers, there is a sale going on at the JCPenney. Only for people who have been walking inside the mall for at least half an hour. It's only going to last for the next 20 minutes, so please hurry on.
This is what Michel hears as he's beaten down to the ground.
Why? Please tell me at least 3 of the zombies break off from the beatdown and head toward JCPenney's.
No, none of them head towards JCPenney's.
There is a method to my madness.
But how?
Here.
How can they resist the sale?
The method to my madness is that now they know that somebody's here messing with their intercom, but also that I'm clearly aware of the fact that there's zombies in the mall. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
By the way, management to the information booth. Management to the information booth.
Like there's only one.
All right, so it takes a little about 10 minutes, and you kind of realize that Michel is not coming.
Well, he wasn't the management I was hoping for.
Okay.
Burn. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm crying now. Thanks, Hucks.
Rip Michel, beaten by the trampling feet of the sneakers of mall walkers.
I'll try again. I'll be like, store manager to the information booth. Store manager to the information booth.
All right. So, let's see. So you see walking down the hallway, like coming out of the JCPenney's, you see a rather tall, broad-shouldered woman, flanked by 2 or 3 mall guards on Segways, walking down the hallway towards you.
Of course they are.
Yes. So obviously she is in no hurry, and she is walking towards you. When she gets close enough, she's like, "Hello, I happen to be the store manager. How may I help you today?"
Oh, well, I'm just wondering if you could help me. You see, my friend, is inside the mall. We've been doing some shopping, and we just kind of noticed that the mall seems rather peculiar. I mean, there's not a lot of people doing any shopping. They just seem to all be walking around in corners. They seem to be wearing goofy Segways. And so pretty much we were just, here looking for somebody. And I'm curious if I found them or if I need to speak with whoever your boss is.
I think that it's time for you to leave. As you can see, we're quite busy in the mall today. Chirp, 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 chirp. And so I think that we don't need hooligans here at the mall. So if you don't have business to conduct, I suggest
I'm not a
that you
hooligan.
leave. I do believe that
I
you
thought
don't
I was
belong
conducting
behind the
business,
information
if not-
desk. If you like, this is
There
private
was no
property.
one.
I can call the police.
There was no one here. And also, are you going to call the police, or is Paul Blart and his cousins Blart and Blart going to be the ones to escort me out? Because it's a little weird.
Great zinger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zing.
I think our
Good
Paul
old Blart
Blarts
and
are going
Blart.
to escort you out.
Blart, Blart, and Blart.
And the all of the three mall cops lean forward in their segways and charge. We're going to cut over to Evie and Ravi.
Oh, I want to know what happened to Michel. I'm biased.
Yeah.
Michelle is one of the Segway cops.
I want to know what happened to Michelle too. You just got
As long as he wasn't the Segway.
trampled by sneakers.
As long as he wasn't the Segway.
Black Friday sale. Dum, 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 dum. All right, so
Like run over by the Segway. I mean.
Ravi,
Oh,
you
okay.
are okay. So Ravi, you are taken back.
Yes,
And
following this guy.
Yeah, so you're taken through like a couple of hallways. Everything looks gorgeous in this place. This place is definitely like, you will never be able to afford this place in your life. Is how expensive this spa is. You are eventually led back to what is obviously like the back office area, which is still nicely done, just not necessarily as ornate as the front area. You hear as you get closer to like what seems to be the main office door, you hear like loud punk music from behind the door. And he opens the door. As he swings it open, the first thing that you notice is that there is a chunky neck-bearded guy tied to a chair who does not look like he has had a very good day. He is covered in sweat. There's no blood, but lots of sweat. He's just like coated in it. You can actually smell him as you come into the room. You see that
Fancy.
there are about a half dozen incredibly attractive men and women in this room. Most of them are kind of like sitting around on their phones, but whenever you come in, they kind of like put their phones away. Behind the desk, you actually spinning around, of course, like you do with the villainous reveal, is an incredibly attractive woman, pale skin. She has black hair with kind of like different colored tips at the end. And she goes, "Oh, Raziel," or liaison. It's wonderful to have you here. And the gentleman who had the
wonderful to
earbud kind of
be
like
here.
comes over and says like, yeah, here, bae. Gives her the earpiece.
I'm out. Sorry, I can't deal with these guys.
Fam?
And she puts the earpiece in. I presume she's like, I presume that I'm talking to the one and only Raziel.
Yes, that would be me.
Oh, bitch! I thought I said come in person.
I don't know if I appreciate that language.
Oh no, he did not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you prefer French or or Latin?
I mean,
French.
I'm here in spiritual person.
Oh, in spiritual person. Well, at least you sent collateral. He's fairly
guess I
tall and
did.
looks pretty well built, but
Do the Return of the Jedi thing. Tell him that Ravi is a gift.
I highly recommend not turning him. He's kind of already claimed.
Oh, that's
true.
very interesting. Is he yours? Is he your bae?
There's a pause because on the other side of the line, Evie's
yes.
just cringing on the inside.
Not the only one.
No, more like chosen by a god. I wouldn't probably touch him.
Oh, she's kind of like pushes back on her chair and stands up. She kind of then walks over to Ravi. Ravi, she's about like 5'2".
Yeah, but she's white court, so
Yeah,
you know.
she kind of comes over, traces her finger across her chest. She's like, "So you've been chosen by a god?
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen to be Ray Stance, would it?"
He was, I thought
I
Ray
get
wasn't.
it.
Thought
I
Ray
don't
wasn't
get
a
it.
god.
Well, I'm told, that the common wisdom is that whenever you're asked if you're a god or not, that you always say yes.
Yes, I was chosen by a god, of course. I kind of want to impress her because I also kind of want to sleep with her because she's white court, and I can't
Yeah.
really that's just the thing they do.
This is true. This is true. So which god is it, honey?
You probably never heard of him, Vishnu, the all powerful.
Oh, you probably never heard of him. Just a hipster
Oh, that
god.
is. She just kind of like just taps your nose. She's like, that's so precious. Probably never heard of him. Oh my goodness. No,
Okay, how about
no,
we get back on
honey.
topic and you release the
that's
man that
not
you're holding
important.
captive?
We're not here for
Oh
Vishnu's
yes.
work.
Oh yes. Oh well, we'll get back to you, sweetheart. So Raziel. Hold on, I'm looking for my notes. I'm sorry. There we go.
She says that in character.
Yes. So, Raziel, I hope that you don't mind, but I've managed to get one of your little people here. And by little people, I mean minions. I don't mean physically, because look at him. He's girthy.
I couldn't see him if I wanted to. Well, I mean, I guess I can. I pull out
you mean
my
you don't have
phone.
a camera set up or something? Like you don't have like, she kind of wanders over to Ravi and like takes his glasses off of his face and it's just like, there's no camera in here? And puts it back on Ravi's face.
I was really expecting her to break them, but have them be Ravi's actual glasses and be like, no, there's no camera in there. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't know that. I could just be lying. But, I mean, there's obviously, he does not have a camera on his person. But
She kind of like leans over to the camera that's live streaming and just kind of waves. She's like, I know you can see what's going on. I've sent you the video feed. I was even nice enough. I was even nice enough to get someone to like put graphics on it. I mean,
yes,
like Snapchat.
I hope they were
that
well
shit up.
paid.
So yes. So before we have a skull emoji kind of conversation, let's get to the meat of the matter, shall we? So I don't like people looking into my business, and that's exactly what your friend here, who goes by the name Deep Centurion. And let me tell you, like I've met some people who could like maybe call themselves a centurion, but I don't even know what a Deep Centurion would be. I don't understand it. I don't know. His real name is Paul. So I'm inclined to kill him because he got into my business, because you decided that you were going to get into my business. You were.
I didn't decide anything. I can't control the people who are part of this organization. They just do what they will.
The responsibility of being in charge is a bitch. And I think we both
Am
know
I
that.
in charge? I was the founder. I don't tell people to do things. They just kind of do it on their own.
Well, then, honey, you have none. Then, honey, you're missing out. You get all of the responsibility and none of the fun or the glory. That sounds like
That's
your
the way I
problem.
like it.
That's fine. She produces a pistol from her pocket, and she's like, "That's perfectly fine." She shoots a shot into Deep Centurion's kneecap, basically a shot that will cripple him for life. If he ever walks again, it'll be with a cane. She's like, "Listen, sweetheart,
I don't see why that was necessary.
Oh, I don't think it was necessary, but you felt it was because you don't take responsibility for your people's actions. See, your friend Deep Centurion here, or let's just call him DC. I don't know. Let's not do that. So, basically was looking into my business. He was looking for a man by the name of Darren Krebs. And Darren Krebs is a sweetheart. And he is a member, wink, of our community here. And
Does she say wink
yes.
when she winks?
Yes.
Wink.
And he has recently gone missing. And so you might find it, so I find it quite interesting that shortly after he goes missing, that some people are looking into him. And so, yeah, no, I want to know why you are looking into my sweetheart, Darren Krebs.
I would ask you to ask Deep Centurion, because I honestly have no idea.
Good idea. Guess what? I did that. She reaches down on her desk. She produces a couple of sheets of paper. She's like, I've got it all right here. And she kind of flips it open to one passage. It's just ARRRRRGGGGHHHH exclamation point, flame emoji. She's like, yeah, I asked him a lot of questions and he gave me a lot of answers. And it turns out that he was asked to look into partygoers at a Middleton's party to see if any of them had gone missing. And it turns out that Darren Krebs is one of the ones that's gone missing. So my question to you is, how do you know that he went missing?
I just kind of paused for a second. Maybe because he was at the party and he went missing and he was on the guest list?
Why is that of interest to you?
I was at that party. I wanted to make sure that the people who were there didn't go missing.
Your answer is insufficient because I think that you're in league with Darren because Darren stole something of mine. And I think you're trying to get it because he has double-crossed you. And I do
Was
not
it the
appreciate being
Picatrix?
double-crossed. What?
Okay, no, then I have no idea what he stole.
Sorry.
What is a Picatrix? Is that is that some dumb tricks flavor?
No. Honestly, for how powerful you are, I cannot believe you don't know what this is. But sometimes I do ask some of my members to look into things for me. Yes, I did ask some of the members of the Truth to look into missing people from that particular party. No, I did not particularly single out this person. Mostly, I was just making sure that everybody who was at that party got out safe and alive. You know, for somebody who claims to know all and is part of the all-powerful Wraith family, I can't believe you don't know what actually happened at that party.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow your hoe. All right? I don't claim to know everything. I'm a member of the Wraith family. I do what I'm supposed to do. I make sure that I do the things that I'm supposed to do. And here's what you're going to do for me. You've looked into my business, so you have stirred up a hornet's nest. So, sweetheart, I want you to find Darren Krebs for me. I want you to find what he stole from me and return it. He stole a safe. Or, is there an or? She kind of looks over at Deep Centurion and then looks back over at Ravi. I've got these gentlemen of yours.
You know, if you actually want me to find these people and bring them back, I will need Ravi.
Oh, you need him. She kind of runs her finger across Ravi's chest. We all have needs.
Yes, you're being very lewd about it.
Jealous.
Whenever Ravi says jealous, Eliza just kind of puts her finger on Ravi's lips. Shh, the big kids are talking. So
I'm not even gonna. I don't care. I don't even care right now.
That's okay. It's endearing. It's cute. She's so attractive, and you think she likes you. So
how do you know I'm a she?
I don't know that. So just so you know, I said she, but Eliza doesn't. You're using a voice changer. I'm aware of that. So, So basically, if you need him to go and help because he's blessed by the hipster god of Vishnu, that's fine by me. Maybe Darren's never heard of that god. It's possible, but he stole a safe from me. And I will send you some pictures of the safe. I want the safe and the contents returned to me. And in exchange, I will let Lardo keep his life.
I think you mean Paul.
No, I said what I meant, but yeah, Paul. We can call him Deep Centurion.
Deep Centurion.
His name's Paul. How about I agree to do this, and you make sure Paul doesn't bleed out and die, and that he's not in any pain with his knee. And I don't mean kill him so that he's not in any pain. I mean physically not in pain and alive.
Why would I kill him if you're doing such a good job? Why would I kill him if you're doing such a good job? Yeah, no, I'm going to make sure that he gets some medical attention. I'll make sure that he gets some painkillers of the appropriate level. You like Oxycontin, Paul? Everybody likes Oxycontin. She actually goes to her desk, pulls out some Oxycontin, pours a glass of water, and is like, "Here you go, Paul. Painkillers. See, I'm a good guy. So yeah. So thanks.
What's his name again? This unimportant person who happened to be on a party list
Darren Krebs.
where a denarian attacked.
Yes, he was at the party.
I know, but I say where a denarian attacked. Like, I can't believe she didn't know this.
That is not what I meant to copy and paste into the Discord that we had. Damn copy and paste. Anyway,
Yeah, that's leaving me very confused.
yeah, that is Sexy Punk Rocker is not the name.
I didn't know.
Krebs.
I
There
thought
we go.
that Vic Savage was showing back up.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, Sexy Punk Rocker is the aspect that Eliza has. And I put that in the Trello board. Let me think. I'm sorry. You said, what am I responding to? I lost track.
I basically said, what's the name of this person again? You know, who went missing at the party where the denarian almost killed everybody who was there?
His name was Darren Krebs. Let me think.
You really didn't know that there was a denarian who almost killed everybody who was there.
No, we knew one was. We knew that there were actually two in town, but we didn't know that they were at that party. So thank you for that additional information.
You're welcome. See, look at that. Even exchange.
Oh my God, we're like buddies. It's fantastic. We should party together sometime.
No.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay. She will send you pictures of Darren. They're nude photos. And she will send you pictures of the safe that he stole. It's like your typical like office safe. Like really run of the mill, the stuff that like you pick it up at Target to keep things in. And she's just like, return the safe and its contents to me safely. She says, you've got 72 hours. She pulls out the earpiece and smashes it with the heel of her foot.
Okay. Robbie, since you still have yours in, tell her that I said, yes, we will do this. But we're also
Yes,
hunting
we
a
will do
denarian
this. But we're also
that
hunting a
tried to
denarian
kill all of the people at
that
that
tried
party.
to kill the people at that party.
So Ravi, I would like to compel Sexy Punk Rocker.
Oh, no.
For Ravi. Ravi, you are enamored with her and you will do
That's
whatever, like, you'll do like whatever reasonable request she'll make. Like you won't kill a guy for her, but like any reasonable request, she has won you over. Would you like a fate point?
Yes.
All right. Let me give you a fate point. That takes Ryan from 3 to 4. All right. And she's just kind of like, as you start repeating what Evie says, she's just like, shh, listen, sweetheart, you just do a good job and get that safe back to me, and you take care of your Raziel and make sure that robot is perfectly fine. And you just come back to me in one piece. And she gives
I
you
can
a
hear
kiss.
her. Don't you listen to her.
She gives you a kiss on the cheek.
What's she doing?
And she says, if you do a great job, I've got a big surprise for you. And then
Oh, no. Don't you
her-
listen to her. She's lying.
her people
She's
escort you out.
Yeah, well,
She's a
I guess I'll go out. I mean, I know that, but it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Like
right now.
Evie's just trying to yell into your ear to not listen to her. But it doesn't matter.
It's
it
in
doesn't
vain.
work.
All right. So at this point, we've got time for one more little thing before we break. And I'd like that to be the Michel scene, if that's okay with everybody. So we've got Hucks, who has encountered the human form of the denarian, with mall guards who are charging on segways.
Oh, that was the human form?
That was the
Not
human
the
form.
denarian?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Then Evie and Ravi just wrapped up this whole scene with the white court. And now they've got this complicated thing. And Michel, you were swarmed and basically kind of just dragged through the mall. You were dragged through the stores. There's stores have little hallways. Most malls have the back
I
end
used
of
to work at a mall. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Fair enough, but just for anyone listening,
Right.
behind stores there is a back hallway for like taking trash out and things like that. So like you can go from store A, B, C in like this back secret hallway. They basically drag you into that. And whenever they pull you out and you manage to kind of like get your bearings, you are strung up in the sports section of J.C. Penney's.
Oh god.
Basically like you're kind of like just kind of hanging there. Let me think. You've got your wrists kind of tied together and being like up in the air. And to make matters worse, you're actually on a trampoline. Like just like like a 4 or 5 foot trampoline. So basically like your feet can touch occasionally, but you have to like keep bouncing to kind of like keep the like, cause if you relax too much, like you'll bow down on the trampoline and it'll be too far. So you gotta like do some weird trampoline work. It's really mean.
Yeah, what kind of fresh hell did you just put him into? Like, my God.
You know what? It's all good. I have Hucks to back me. Oh fuck, I'm screwed.
Hey! Hold on, you've been ragging on me. You got captured. Ravi has fallen in love with a vampire queen.
Well, that's
A vampire princess. I don't think she's an actual queen yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. That distinction will serve him well as he serves her for eternity.
Probably.
So Michel, you hear someone approaching. You hear like the click of a cane as someone is approaching. You kind of like bounce around to kind of turn around, and you see what appears to be like an African-American man in his 50s. He is wearing kind of like a gray suit. It's an older style, an older cut, like maybe from around like the 80s. That's not going to be good. It's an older cut, but not like 80s. Cause like, anyway, he's got like a wide brimmed hat with like a plume coming out of it. And he's got a walking cane with him. And he just kind of like, as he's kind of like walking up, you can see like some of the mall walkers have started walking away again, kind of mindlessly. And he goes, greetings and introductions, young fella.
I'm going to have to, I think, explain my reply to him since none of y'all speak French. But Michel will just kind of look at him while he's bouncing. Tu es qui? Which in French you have two different verbs or two different words for the English word you. You have vous form, which is the polite, which is the formal, used with strangers, with superiors, and whatnot. And then there's the tu form, which is the more familiar and the more, like you use it with your buddies, use it with your family, your coworkers. And so to use the tu form instead of the vous form with someone you haven't met is, in this case, meant as a big insult.
Okay.
Because sometimes people will mistakenly use it when they've been talking with their buddies and all of a sudden their buddies' parents are like, hey, and you're like, oh, yeah, oh, oops, wrong you, sorry. But in this case, he's being very deliberate about tu versus vous. So, so in the English translation saying, and who the hell are you? Kind of more offhand than actually caring about the response. He's just giving him a verbal bitch slap.
Sure. He will respond back to you in French, but it's more of a Creole French. And he is like, well, it seems to me like you don't care too much for me and you've only just met me. I understand that maybe the greeting hasn't been quite so swell, but you have to understand, you come into my territory, I need to reckon on what your intentions are.
Tu pouvais me demander. You could have asked me.
That's what I'm doing now.
No, you are confining me to this ridiculous contraption.
Yeah, I have to admit it is quite ridiculous, but you work with what you have. You know, there's only so many abandoned warehouses that you can actually put people and spend time in. And quite frankly, most abandoned warehouses are being retconned into other things. But malls, well, gosh, malls are abandoned just about everywhere. So they make mighty fine places to hide out. So, and it seems to me that since you've come to the mall and it doesn't look like you're a shopper and it doesn't look like you're being impacted by some of the security measures that we've got here, it seems to me that you might be mighty special.
Je suis rien de spécial, no. I'm nobody
no,
special.
Nobody special, huh? Well, he kind of produces a short knife. And he's like, that's all right. We can find out a little bit more about what makes you special. Unless you'd rather like to talk a bit. And
as he's
please
bouncing, he's looking
Yeah.
around, and I'm assuming there's like really cheap folding chairs nearby.
Yeah.
If you cut me down, we can. And he's kind of motioning with his head because his hands are all tied. If you let me down, we can sit down and chat about it like the gentleman.
Well, that's,
And
that's
he purposefully uses the vous form in that sentence to kind of apologize for being so rude the first time, because obviously he got off on the wrong foot.
well, I tell you what, if you agree to the rights of hospitality, then I'd say that we can have ourselves a hospitable time.
Ooh boy.
For the duration of the conversation and 1/4 hour afterwards for me and my companions
I don't see any companions.
that I came in with, the woman with the dogs and the loudmouth gentleman on the loudspeakers.
Oh, well, this conversation here is between us, so I think that the rights of hospitality extend to you. I'm afraid that like the other people, well, they'd have to negotiate their own. And it seems to me like they've chosen their courses of action. What course of action are you going to choose? If you'd like, I can leave you strung up for a while and come back and try and talk later.
I would happily shake on it, but as you can see, I am unable to at the moment.
As long as you agree to the rights of hospitality and quick departure, then we can have ourselves a friendly discussion, a might bit more comfortable.
That is acceptable.
He in an almost imperceptible move, he flicks his wrist. The little knife that he has slices through the ropes holding you. Your arms are still bound, but they're no longer up, and you're able to kind of untie and make your way off of the trampoline. So,
As a player, I really hope he breaks the laws of hospitality, because I have a stunt that allows me to lay the smackdown on people who break the laws of the Fae.
he gestures to a couple of those like cloth fold-out chairs. And from nowhere, like a mall walker comes walking out with a couple of orange Juliuses.
Nice.
He hands you one, and he's like, what's your name? What are you doing here?
I am Michel, and I am here looking for a woman that I met briefly. What was it, like 3 days ago, 2 days ago?
Something like that. I think it's like 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days ago.
It's just a few days past. I met her at a party. Things were going great, and then she got how do they say it in this country? A horrible case of the blues.
I do believe that you're talking about my companion, Eric Kyle. She can be a bit crabby now and again.
Did Michelle know the name, or is that just me as a player?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yes, that would be the woman that we are searching for.
Oh, then you might be one of the ones that... Oh, so you're one of the ones that she encountered at their party.
Yes, she was a smash it, I believe the phrase is.
He kind of like hits his knee, says, well, you've come to the right place. I tell you what, you beat her fair and square, and so I'm not sure what you need. Now, I will say that she managed to drop something in the ruckus, and if perhaps you would be interested in selling that, we could part with favors or money.
Does Hucks have the bag, or does Michel have the bag?
You tell me.
I don't think you guys would have, sadly, trusted Hucks with the bag.
Well,
It's unfortunate, but
I feel like more the case where I think Michel would have the bag because Michel was meeting
Reba.
yeah. And so and Michel would have handed the bag to Reba for the dogs to sniff, and then Reba would have handed it back to Michel, and then that probably
think
would have
that's
been the
fair.
end of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. All right, so yeah, Michelle, you've got the bag.
So with his hands bound together, he'll reach into his.
Oh, you could undo like he just cut you down. You could unbind yourself, so you've got
Okay.
like free hands.
Yeah. So Michel will undo the rope on his hands and slowly open up the side of his jacket and reach in. He's got the bag underneath his coat.
Yeah.
So he will hand the bag to the gentleman. I don't think I caught his name.
He did not give it.
He did not. That is true. Damn it.
So, well, this certainly looks like her bag. He opens it up. He sees the contents appear to be missing.
Yes, we decided it was best kept elsewhere, but I was able to bring the bag to prove that we have what was inside, and we would like to have a meeting with, what was her name? Eric Kyle?
Eric Kyle. I'll post it in the Discord. The spelling Arakeil.
Yep, I went with an E instead of an A, but close enough. We wanted to have a meeting with her to discuss what was inside the bag.
Oh, well, here's the thing. I'm actually the person that you should discuss things with.
And
So,
why
yeah.
is that?
Well, because I'm the one who happened to mastermind the whole thing.
I see.
Eric Kyle and I are partners. She's the muscle, I'm the brains.
That makes perfect sense. It is a good a duo to have one specializing in each aspect.
So tell me, boy, what do you want? Do you want power? Do you want money? What do you want?
I want to know what is so special about this book.
Oh, absolutely. He will go on to tell you some of the information that you've learned from Dr. Vineet Gupta. Basically, that like the book is ancient. It's an original copy. The magic within it was once potent and no longer is due to like reproduction. He will say that it being like an original copy makes it potent for ritual magic, specifically for divinations. And I've got a reason to want to do some divinations. I want to find out some things about what might be coming up. I've got a bad sense about some things, and so I'd like to do a little bit of divination, and it's going to be a powerful one, so I need some powerful components.
So it's more like a focus for the ritual instead of what's inside it being used for a ritual.
Correct.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense as a player. I don't know if Michel would actually get that. He's not very well versed in the magical aspects of things.
Well, now here's wait a minute. I'm just thinking about something real quick. Well, here's the thing that I need to tell you, need to tell you. He doesn't say Michelle. Wait a minute, you did say your name.
Yes.
Yeah, here's the thing that I need to tell you, Michelle. I'm willing to do you favors. I mean, I've already done you one.
And what would that be?
Oh, well, that was when you were trying to protect that little kid who was being born. You needed a little bit of extra juice for your magic.
Oh, screw you, Randy.
So I helped you out, and I'm willing to help you out some more. You want power? I've got power to give. You want money? That's pretty narrow-minded, but I'll give you money.
I
can wire you $500,000 in just a few minutes.
I need to confer with my associate before I make any final decisions. Is there a way that I can get a hold of you in the next few days?
Well, here's the thing, Michel. We're having a friendly conversation now, but I don't know what's going to happen after we're done being hospitable. We're going to go back to any means necessary. So if we can't strike a deal here, things turn deadly. And that's where we're going to end the episode.
Good. 'Cause I have no idea. Oh, Michel is totally out of his depth.
What did we say, guys? Just find where the denarian is. Don't confront them.
You had very precise instructions.
I literally had no choice.
Confront
I tried to
the
find.
denarian.
Michel has not confronted the denarian. Not yet. He has not confronted the specific denarian we were told not to confront.
I'm going to have to spend a faint point next session to say that I planted a tracker on Hucks so that we can find you guys so
not
you don't
just a
die.
tracker, but a microphone and a tracker.
All right. So just to recap the very end of the session, Hucks is being attacked by the Paul Blarts and the Erikyle, the blue crab denarian who's currently in human form. Eva and Ravi have just finished dealing with a white court issue. They got themselves another little quest to go on. Not necessarily right away, but and then Michel has just talked to who is apparently the brains behind the denarian part of things.
Right.
So to wrap up tonight, I'd like to do our usual, like something good, something bad about tonight's session. You can mention both or just one, but whenever something hits you, just go ahead and say it.
The reveal of, oh yeah, I already helped you out once. As a player, that's awesome. My character is just not happy right now. Accepting help from someone like him is like not cool. But he didn't know any better.
Yes, indeed. Anybody else have something good or bad to say about tonight's session?
Yeah.
That was a good thing, by the way, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked how, because I had no idea why this guy was being kidnapped, like why he was being held by the Wraith. But it's cool that it like turned into, oh, I did ask him to look into something for me, and he wasn't just like meddling around. You know, I was like, okay, yeah, I do have to be responsible for this, because in the case where, oh, if he was just screwing around and doing stuff, like it's his own decision. He should have covered his tracks better. Like I would have tried to help him, but at the same time, Evie knows that you can't save everybody. But in this case, she is kind of responsible for it, so you need to make sure he gets out safe.
Cool.
I didn't do a lot tonight, but I'm fine with it because I liked seeing the story unfold. So I definitely didn't have issues with not being a highlight at all.
Yeah, we had a pretty strong focus on you for a couple of sessions.
Yeah,
so we're just kind of.
It's good to take the back seat and see and get to kind of watch the other stories unfold.
As long as you're having a good time with it. John?
I'm going to wait on mine. I'll talk to you about later.
Okay. Sounds good. So one thing that I'm enjoying is weaving all of your kind of like back plot together, like trying to bring it together, trying to make it meaningful, trying to make it interweave with each other. Like I'm kind of giving each of you like things and agendas that like mix and put like just kind of like froth up interesting things. So I hope that that's working out. But I think so far it's working out pretty well. So that's something that I've enjoyed about like tonight's session is just kind of weaving things together. So cool. Well, with that, let's say goodnight to the internet. Good night, internet.